Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10, and we're waiting for the rain. It hasn't yet come, although I did just walk down the road and it was spitting very lightly. So we're hopeful that the rain is coming. Never thought I'd say that for a while, but it's been crazy dry, hasn't it? So how are you? Hope you're well today. As usual, property news. It seems all the headlines at the moment are about price drops. You know, the prices are dropping. Woo, everybody panic. And I think a little bit of perspective is required here. First of all, prices always drop off in the peak of the holiday season. Oh, look, we're in August. Guess what? It's the peak of the holiday season. So you can expect a little fall off anyway. Coupled with that, what we've got is an acute shortage of new instructions coming to market, which means that many estate agents, believe it or not, will go in and they'll tell people higher figures than actually they can achieve on the properties that in order to get them to sign their contracts. By the way, a good telltale sign for this is the length of time your agent wants to sign you up for. Often, these people that are giving you very high valuations will also want you for 20 weeks or 12 weeks, very, very long contract periods. And if they're confident in the price they're suggesting you can achieve, they should not be asking for very long contract periods, because if the price point is right, then you should get the traction, you should get the offers. Maybe they got something else wrong. Maybe it's promotion, presentation, maybe it's just the way they work. But one thing's for sure, there are plenty of people out there that are on the market at unrealistic prices. You've probably seen it yourself. And it happens not because vendors want to be unreasonable, but because agents want the stock, and therefore sometimes vendors go with the highest possible figure. Now, the reality gap is where we come to. Imagine this: the market continues to go up throughout the year, and so we're quoting higher and higher prices. But then on top of that, as the market starts to level off, so the stock starts to fall off, and as the stock starts to fall off, agents get more desperate. What do overvaluing agents tend to do? Continue to overvalue in order to secure those instructions. So what happens is that not only has the market stopped moving and they've estimated that the price has gone up a little bit, but on top of that, they've overestimated anyway, because it's what they always do, which is why we're going to see a load of headlines coming through in the next month, especially saying that asking prices have come down by significant amounts. And I think asking prices are quite different from sold prices, and you've got to look at the trends as a whole rather than looking at asking prices, because they can be so deceptive. So how are you today? I hope you're well. It's a really good time if you're thinking about selling now, because we've got the mums market coming up. So we're starting to get a little bit quieter on valuations this week, which is unusual for us. I'm usually chocker all week, every week, just advising people on where to go next with their valuations and things like that, you know, when they're going to sell, marketing strategy and technique, helping people that are not yet on the market, or perhaps on the market not having that success. So, you know, if you're thinking about moving right now, it's a really good time to have a chat with your local expert agent that can advise you on what you should be thinking about in terms of your area. One of the questions I always ask myself when I'm looking at a house is, who is my audience? What kind of buyer am I looking for? And if I'm looking for a first-time buyer and I'm looking at a really swish place, perhaps I'm thinking about softening it with some flowers and maybe some fruit bowls in the photography, some lifestyle shots with perhaps some wine glasses or champagne bottle on the terrace with a patio and the small table, a couple of chairs. Sometimes we use those things at presentation. The most important thing that you should be thinking of if you're marketing your house in terms of that presentation is curb appeal. Question one, how does it look when I stand at the front of my house? Does it present well? Because that's the first image for most of us that people are going to see, the front of our house. Yes, you can take internal shots, but if you're in a house in a certain area, in my experience, and you take an internal shot, people will think probably there's a reason why you haven't taken the front shot, that there might be something wrong. So it's best to use the front shot if you can, and with that, make sure that you get the best possible angle. Worth taking multiple shots, worth making sure that the front door looks just so, perhaps some planters, perhaps some hanging baskets, certainly a clean front door, perhaps a freshly painted one. Just make sure it's got that added zing, because remember, when people look, they're asking themselves one question only: how does this house compare with the other ones in this price range? And you want your one to stick out. And that doesn't necessarily mean because you've got an orange front door, it's got to be tasteful and in keeping. In fact, black front doors could look quite nice too. But it is about presentation. It is about attention to detail, because these days, we have such high quality cameras. You can pick up every detail. And if the front door looks a bit drab, then people can presume that what is a very beautiful house inside is perhaps a bit more drab and therefore not click on you. And if they don't click on you, they can't see the other images of your beautiful home. So make sure that the front presents well and make sure your agent's taking the best possible shot, because that makes such a difference. And then internally, think about who is my buyer. If you're selling something that is an investment and you know that the buyer coming in is going to have to change things, then bear in mind that actually presentation is not quite so important. Yes, clear the spaces so they can see the space on offer, but actually they're going to have a little bit of imagination anyway if they're doing their own works to the property. And if they haven't got that imagination, perhaps they're not the right buyer. Another statistic I saw come out today saying that conservatories, or orangeries as we sometimes call them, are becoming a thing of the past, and separate receptions are becoming a thing of the past. These days we seem to be in the phase of open plan living, don't we? So we're doing away with conservatories, extending out that 5, 7, 9 meters. A beautiful big open plan room with the island kitchen in the middle and the bifold doors across the back seems to be much more common now. It is the way things are going. I do question in times to come whether we'll look back in the way we do now at avocado bathrooms and say, oh, look, bifold doors right across the back. That was done in 2020s, because it does seem to be a big fad right now. It seems to be the thing that everyone has done. So hope you're well. And if you're thinking of selling, it's a really good time to have that discussion. So do give us a call. Or if you just want some advice, you're welcome to give us a call. You know that. Drop us a line, info@jamesalexander.com, or give us a call, 0208 679 8601. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Ciao.